What's up, everybody? Master Reactor here, and today we have a pretty nice replay. I actually played this tournament, and I'm playing against Panda Burn. This isn't the tournament, but I scooped the Panda Burn. Maybe I shouldn't have, because the way this game went is pretty sick. So we're gonna show off. I'm playing Chaos Turbo, and he's playing Panda Burn. So I throw paper, he throws paper, I throw paper, he throws paper again, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just throwing scissors. So I cut him. So I get to go first, alright? Let's see how this game went. This was a crazy match here, y'all. So I open Snatch, Knock, Faith, Thunder Dragon, Solemn, and Deco. He's got Sangin, Snatch, Book of Taiyu, Giant Rat, and Secret Barrel. So I discard the Thunder Dragon and grab two more. And I decide to set a Deco and set a Solemn and say go. He draws to another Giant Rat. Okay. He decides to set a Rat and set a Secret Barrel. I draw into Pot of Greed, which is great. I flip up the Deco and draw. And I fire the Upstart, give him 1,000, draw into another Deco. And I fire the Pot of Greed. And now I got 1,000,000 cards. I draw into Graceful and Pot of Greed, and Book of Moon. I Graceful into Jar of Greed, Solemn, and Sangin. So again, I'm pretty lucky this game, but he's playing Burn, so advantage really doesn't matter. I knock the monster. He chains Secret Barrel now. So I take some damage here, which is fine. I take 2K to the cheeks, and I decide that I'm just going to hit him for 14 and set Jar of Greed, another Solemn, Book of Moon, and my Magician of Faith, and say go. Okay. He draws into a knock. Alright, that was a clutch ass draw for him, because he's going to knock my shit. Alright, then I decided not to Solemn there. Maybe I should have, but it is what it is. I was like, fuck it, I'll save it for a rainy day. He sets a Sangin and just says go. I draw into Jar of Greed. I fire the Jar of Greed and draw into BLS. I fire Book of Moon on Deco and flip and draw into Upstart. And then I Upstart into Tribe so I can get my BLS out here. So I use Tribe's effect, discard Jar of Greed. Now I have the Dark I needed. I wish I would have discarded off a Charity, but I didn't, so it is what it is. And I bring out the BLS because I'm thinking that it's Cyber Jar or something, so I'm not playing that shit. So I hit him for 16, putting him at 7K and me at 6K, and just say go. He draws into a Panda. He's going to fire Snatch Steal, and I instantly Solemn it, so now I'm at 3K only. He runs out a Giant Rat here and pokes. I decide not to Solemn. Probably should have Solemn that too, but it's fine. And he doesn't play Lily in his deck, obviously, so he's going to exile and pop my BLS. I draw into Heavy Storm, and now I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get aggressive, and I hit him for 3K, putting him down to 38. He draws into Level Limit. Alright, must be nice. He runs out to Panda. I say okay, and he hits, and I take a little bit of damage, putting me at 28. And then he uses Level Limit, and I draw into Ring, which is a perfect draw because it is over, people. I'm gonna fire the Heavy. I Snatch Steal his Panda, switch it, and swing bada, putting him at 600, set Ring, and I say draw phase, use Ring. So that was the game one. Alright, I beat the Panda Burn game one. He's playing Book of Taiyu in it, so it's not the greatest build, but still, it's Panda Burn nonetheless. So that was game one. Game two is pretty interesting, alright, how I played this. So he opens Cyber Jar, Just Desserts, Level Limit, Geometrio, Giant Trunade, and another Secret Barrel. And a Secret Barrel. I guess he doesn't have another. So he's got all the good burn shenanigans here. He decides to set a Secret Barrel and set a Geometrio and just pass. I've got Duo, Faith, Jar of Greed, Thunder Dragon, and Sinister. And I draw into a Wing Blast here. So I'm going to fire the Duo always, because fuck it, it's 1,000 damage, but it gets more cards out of his hand. And I pick the Just Desserts, and he throws out, I want to say Giant Trunade, yeah. I discard Thunder Dragon and grab two more. And my only play is to set Faith, set Jar of Greed, and set Wing Blast. In phase, he uses the Ajama Trio and the Secret Barrel shenanigans and hits me for some damage, putting me at 52. He draws into Pot of Greed. Must be nice. He level limits and he fires Pot of Greed. I think about it and I say, okay, I could have wing blasted and put the level limit back, but I was pretty stupid, so I didn't do that. So he sets a Cyber Jar and sets just desserts and says go. I decide to use the Wing Blast now on the monster to put it back on top. I draw into Mirror Force, which is pretty okay. I draw a Greed, and I draw into a Deco. I flip, oh yeah, what I side decked it was Death Wombat, Double Walk, and Double Mobius. And a Torrential and Triple Saku. So I flip up, and I get the Duo instead of Pot of Greed, because I want to get the card out of his hand. And I decide just to set Deco and set Mirror Force and say go. He sets the Cyber Jar and says go. I draw into Saku. I flip the Deco and draw into a knock. That right there was clutch ass shit to draw that knock off the Deco. Glad I set that. I was questioning setting that because it locks my board. But it is what it is. So I hit him for 300. He takes it. And I set a Saku and say go. He draws to another Just Desserts. So I don't know why he didn't just kill me here. He has double Just Desserts. He just wins. Something that happened here where he doesn't win? I don't understand. He has double Just Desserts. Why is he not beating me here? I don't know what's going on here, people, but I draw on a Mystic Walk now. So he could have literally just won with both Just Desserts. That's 5K. I'm only at 42. So he's not killing me for some reason. I have no clue. So this is just crazy as shit. I set Mystic Walk and say go. He has double Just Desserts. Maybe he just doesn't realize it. This is fucking funny. The man's got game right now. I hit him for 300. He says go. I say go. He draws in a Giant Trunade. Now he fires a Giant Trunade. And I decide to chain Mystic Walk. And he hits me for 25, but I gain the 1400. Why he didn't fire both Mystic Walks there, I have no clue. Like, what is this dude even doing? Why did he not just kill me there? He had double Mystic Walk. He had double Just Desserts on me. So I draw on the Snatch Steel. This is crazy as shit. I run out the Sinister, and I hit him for 600. Now he doesn't have game. Like, he literally could have just won. I don't understand what the fuck. I gotta tell him that. He sets Mirror Force. I set Mirror Force to Saku and say go. He draws in the Snatch Steel, which is pretty dead. He sets the Cylinder and says go. I draw on a Jar of Greed. I'm like, fuck it, let's keep attacking. I'm pretty sure that he's got me. I set Jar of Greed and say go. He draws into a Giant Rat. He tries to summon it, but it has to go to defense. Okay. I draw into Death Wombat. I fire the Jar of Greed, and I draw into Magician of Fate. And I switch both of them and just say go. He draws into a Secret Barrel, so again, he could literally just kill me. But he's deciding not to, which is crazy. He sets Secret Barrel and says go. I draw into a Saku. And now I just say go. I'm like, fuck it. He draws into a Jama Trio. He Secret Barrels me and puts me at 800 now. Now I'm only at 800, so he could literally just win with Just Desserts here. But he doesn't fucking do it for some reason. I have no idea why. Maybe he didn't think he had it. I don't even know. But I tribute it and set and decide to knock my own shit just to open up my board. And I set Solemn Judgment and say go. So he could have just won again. He in phase Just Desserts and beats me. So now I go into main phase and I drop Death Wombat on his ass. So there's no more playing Just Desserts on me. The shit's over. And I decide to crash into the rat and he gets the Panda. I set Solemn and say go. He draws into Book of Moon. He tries to attack my Death Wombat, and I Saku it, and he books it. I'm like, okay, cool. You got me, or whatever. And he book a Taius and flips it back up. I'm like, cool. Alright, awesome. And I draw into a Chaos Sork. I'm only at 800, so should have never won this game at all. Like, he literally had me, like, in 4 different situations. So, this is just ridiculous. He draws into Giant Trunade now. He fires a Giant Trunade. I have to solemn it. Put me at 400. He fires Snatch Steel. I have to solemn it again because I'm sure he has burn shit. and he just says go. I draw into MST. I set the MST and pass. He draws into exiled. He summons the exiled, and I say, you know what? I'm just gonna MST the fucking this card, and it was the right fucking pick because it was just desserts. Now I'm sitting here thinking like, what the fuck? You could have had me. So I Saku his Panda, and he says go. All he has is 2 trios and a magic cylinder now. I pot of greed and draw into Mystic Walk and Ring of Destruction. This is where I kind of misplayed here. I should have banished the token before attacking, because I try to swing and he tries to gain me, but I have the Mystic Walk to gain 2300. So let's go. Now I set this and set Magician of Faith and say go. He draws into Book of Taiyu, which is pretty dead. And now I decide to flip my Faith. He says target. I say Mystic Walk because it's the only card that really is good against Panda Burn that I have access to. And I decide to hit him for 600. And now he's at 47. I decide to ring my own shit so I can set my deco here. And I set the deco in the Mystic Walk and say go. He draws into a Sangan. He sets a Sangan and says go. I draw into Heavy Storm. I flip the deco. And I draw into a Tsukiyomi. I decide to Mystic Walk to gain another 1400. I run the Tsukiyomi out. Flip him up. Set him down. Flip him up to grab knock. I knock his shit. I poke him for 300 again. And I just say go. He draws into a ring. I decide to get my Sinister back. And I decide to heavy now. And just say fuck it. He changed the ring on the Faith. Okay, which is fine. I take 300. Because now I have the Wing Blast to kind of protect me here. I decide to set Wing Blast and set Tsukiyomi and say go. He draws into a Mind Control. He sets Ojama Trio and says go. I decide to end phase Wing Blast to put his Ojama Trio back and set him back a turn. And I draw into Tribe, which is a pretty good draw for me, because now I can get rid of all these tokens, which is what I'm going to do. I run the Tribe out, hit him for 16. Main phase 2, I use Tribe to destroy all of them. I take 900. I flip up my Tsukiyomi and put the Tribe face down and say go. He draws into the Drama Trio, which I knew he had. And he uses Tribe's effect and just says go. I get my Sinister back and I swing that about it for 300. Putting him down to 19. I set Book of Moon and say go. He draws into a Giant Rat. He sets it and says go. I draw into Mobius. I decide to sack, pop the back row, and hit. And he gets another Giant Rat. And he draws into a Panda. And he sets the Panda, and I draw into BLS, and that is the game, people. He literally could have killed me like 3 or 4 different times, but he didn't do it. So I did not deserve to win this game at all, but it happened. It's crazy as shit. But y'all hit the like, hit the sub. That's crazy as shit. This dude is fucking drunk or something. Purple Drunk his name is. What the hell? But y'all have a good day or night. Peace out. Bye.